Aloha mai kākou, everyone. I am so excited to do this video because not only am I doing a get ready with me, but I brought in some very special people to join me on this little clip, and it's my besties, my inner circle, the committee members, the executive board members, and I'm just really happy to bring them on board because they're all confident queens in their own rights. So let me just quickly introduce everyone. So we have June, we have Julia, we have Jade, and then finally we have like my twin, my sis, my soulmate, love of my life, my wife, Sophia. And I'm just really happy to have them here. So yes, let's get started. The first value is Ike Loa, and that translates into to seek wisdom and knowledge, and for me that represents self-awareness. You need to know who you are and be okay with that. And I mean, that's what life is about, right? Like, it's figuring out who you are, and then as you figure it out, then you embody those little qualities about yourself. So for me, I know that I have like 5 different personas, and there's work and school. I have like I think I'm fairly nice. What else is there? I'm a bad bitch, and some people bring out that energy really quickly, and some people don't. But if you do see that energy, that's the only energy you really get. And then the last one, she is, let's just say she's really sensual, and she really likes guys. So that's her. That's me. So that's me in a nutshell.
We've been
They know that. They know that.
It.
Really? Oh, thank you, Queen. I love you. Confidence to me is not about your strengths or how well that you can speak in public. Confidence is knowing who you are, knowing your strengths and your weaknesses. Like, I know that I'm ambitious. I know that I'm an overachiever at times. I know that I can be really compassionate. I know I can be a bad bitch. I know that I'm also pretty critical of people sometimes, and so I'm also critical of myself too. But if I'm ever in that moment of I'm really critical on people, then I say, okay, girl, chill, because I don't know what they're going through, and that's not for me to judge the hidden battles that other people are going through. So yeah, so it's a flaw that I recognize is there, and when it does come up, then I try to acknowledge it instead of suppressing it and allowing it to fester in really negative ways and me projecting negatively on other people. So yeah.
That's good that you're self-aware like that.
Right? Like, it's just a lot of people are not, and that's just
a lot of people can't even admit it, you know.
Right. Like there are times, there are times where I get like, I'm not jealous, but I have moments of like, there are times where you get envious of someone. You're like, oh damn, like that must be really cool. But then, like, if I feel that, I just say, oh, let me just be like, okay, I'm jealous. Yeah, I'm jealous. I acknowledge that, and then within a minute, it's gone. So like, it's like I acknowledge it and then I let it go. So yeah.
And TikTok has taught me anything, it's that nobody has an original thought. Like, so I
say that.
No. Like,
Copy paste.
Control C and Control V. A really good leeway into knowing who you are is the second concept called I have to read this because it's too long for me. Is Kahuna nui Hale Kealohalani Makua. And honestly, that sounds like a middle name. It probably is someone's middle name. That means to love all, including yourself. So you need to know who you are, and you need to love yourself for that. Also, like, comparing yourself is the quickest way to lower your vibe, because the more energy you spend on thinking, oh my god, she has this and she has that, and how did she get that job, and how did she get this opportunity, or how did she get that, and how did she get this, and the more time you spend thinking that, the less time and energy you're giving to yourself. Like, it's really important to love yourself, and that's also a journey on its own. Like, it's not going to be easy, but every step counts. And I mean, there's that famous saying, like, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So even if it's a small step, it's a small step in the right direction, and it's a small step towards towards bettering yourself and really supporting your growth.
Yeah. The most consistent thing is change.
Yeah, totally.
I think a lot of people also focus on changes, like they're so focused on going back to the way that it was before they changed, like that, like they're just completely missing out on an entirely new section of their life.
We, in our entire lifetimes, we have to learn different lessons. Like, I learn lessons about boundaries all the time, and speaking up for myself, that's something I have to learn pretty consistently. If you do not learn the lesson, it will get repeated. It's like repeating a grade. The only thing is, every time it gets repeated, it gets harder. That's the issue. That's the thing. Like, the more you don't learn the lesson, the harder it becomes, because it forces you to learn it.
I feel like that kind of just illustrates how investing in ourselves is kind of like the best thing we can kind of do, you know, and not really trying to seek other people to change, or seeking that approval or that love,
right,
or that validation from other people. And that's super easy, and I feel like it's still an ongoing lesson that you know, I'm continuing to learn, but it's like superhuman, I would say. It's a human experience to kind of desire that change in others to sort of work to how we want. But
I love that. I can't wait to pop off on them.
I just feel like it gets to a point where it's like you're just tired of feeling like shit about your life, you know, like you can't just keep living like we have to live on this earth for a long ass time. All right, like I don't want to live till I'm 80. I probably will, but like that's a long ass time to just feel like shit, you know? Like
yeah. Yeah.
You just gotta eventually just accept it, and the sooner you do, the better you are. Like
truly. Sorry. Okay. Thank you guys. I really love your input. You guys are fucking amazing. This is why I brought you here. This is why you were chosen. You're the chosen ones.
Okay, this is a side note. Well, you could cut this part out. But I remember when I first met Kula, I was like, she has pretty big tits. And I remember she had this dress on. I was like really trying to stare at her face, and I was like, it's not going. It's not working. Mind you, I'm straight as fuck, but at that moment I was like,
girl, I just remember we vibed like from the very beginning. I just remember that. I'm like, and this is honestly really good leeway, because like the third concept I wanted to talk about is ʻOhana, and I think we all know that. And ʻOhana means family, and family means no one gets left behind. My family is really supportive of me, and they always love me and cheer me on from the sidelines, so I totally appreciate that. But also, like, you need to be careful on who you surround yourself with, like in your inner circle. And that's part of the reason why I brought my own friends, the committee, some of the committee at least, onto here today, is to really show like the type of people that I surround myself with. And I really wouldn't, you know, be who I am without them, and they're just really instrumental to my confidence and who I am as a person. And my friends build me up, and I'm going to take them along the ride with me as we level up. Period.
but literally, here, Kula,
done.
Nice.
I mean, like in high school, you meet a bunch of like shitty people, and like you're also a shitty person in high school, so it makes
Fair
sense.
enough.
But
June, I'm gonna tell a short story time, but June was really the person that trailblazed my confidence with guys, because one time we were at this all-you-can-eat Korean barbecue place, and there was a hot guy in a white shirt, and he goes, I was like, oh, he's really cute, and he goes, if you holla at him, I will buy you boba. And I thought, okay, well, I might get the guy's number and I get free boba. So it's a win-win. It's honestly a win-win. Let's go for it. I had to figure out how I was going to do it, but at the end of lunch, we walked out and I went up to their table and I said, hey, like, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but just wanted to let you know that you're really good looking. And then I walked away. And he said, every time you holla at a hot guy, I will buy you boba. And I think he did it for like the first 2 or 3 times. Correct me if I'm wrong. But then after a while, it was sort of like, oh, I don't need you to buy me boba.
Kuma, I ain't rich enough to do this.
I'm like, I don't need training wheels anymore. I don't need the floaties in the pool. I can swim on my own. I'm a mermaid now. I love you guys for dealing with me.
Love you, girl. Thanks for inviting.
Anytime.
I love you guys. I can't wait for them to get fucked up.
Wait, what's gonna get fucked up? Wait, I missed that.
I said what I said. This is Sagittarius. It's a Sagittarius in me. Like, I will tell you the truth, and I'll either be brutally honest if you can handle it, and if you cannot handle it, then I'll still tell you the truth, but in a nice way. And people are like, is that a real Sagittarius? Well, it's me, so deal with it. Anyways, oh my goodness. Yes, I have to look at the notes, but the next concept that was really actually really important to me is this one called, and I have to read this because it's also long. A'a ika hula, waiho ika maka'u, ika Hale. And that means dare to dance, leave shame at home. So you wouldn't know this, but when I was a kid, I was super introverted, and I was an outcast. I'm not even joking here. I was an outcast, and I had this irrational fear of being watched. Like, if I was in 3rd grade and I was in class, if I dropped a pencil on the floor, I would be too scared to pick it up. So then I would kick the pencil and just get a new pencil because I had this fear of being watched. Like, I would think in my head, oh my god, they have to watch me pick up this pencil. And I was so scared to check the mail because there was a bus stop in front of my house, and I would just be so I would be so nervous because I was like, what if there's someone there and then they're gonna watch me open the mailbox, take out the mail, and go back inside. I don't know where it came from, but it was, I had this, like, I just really kind of worried about being watched or the way that I was being perceived. And now it's just sort of like, I don't care. What you see is what you get. But also, like, I mean, the meaning of this quote is to just be yourself and just go for it. Like, you're gonna get judged no matter what you do. If you go for something, you're gonna get judged. If you don't do something, you're also gonna get judged. So what's the point in worrying about, you know, the shame or the guilt of how you're going to be perceived when you can go and live your life the way that you want to, and in a way that's really fulfilling for yourself, because that's what your life is about, is living for yourself. It's not about living others' dreams. It's about, you know, fulfilling your own and finding your own path and trailblazing it as well. And my friends are really, you know, they really helped me get to that point. Not just June, but, you know, just going for it. Like, Sophia got into grad school, and then I thought, oh my god, I should go into grad school. I mean, I wanted to anyway, but the question was when. And so when she got in, then it got me thinking, okay, maybe I should start my journey soon. And then after a job position didn't come through, I said, okay, I'm just gonna go to grad school and I'm gonna go for it, and I'm gonna thrive, and I'm gonna be the best that I can be. I have heard that I'm intimidating, and I'm like, how am I intimidating? How am I intimidating? Maybe my work mode is intimidating, because then I'm like, don't talk to me. I have to focus. I have a mission impossible to do. I gotta blend that
Really
up.
not bad.
Really? Thanks, sis.
Guys, It's giving Instagram
it's giving
video,
middle school
video
fight
call.
recorded on
Anybody
an
do that?
iPod.
It really is. It really is. Like it's gonna be like middle school Motorola Razor.
And the last value that I thought is really important is ʻōlelo no ke ola, ʻōlelo no ka make. And that means that in language, there is life, and in language, there is death. So the words that you're saying are really powerful. It goes back to in the old ancient days in Hawaii where you could pray someone to death. I mean, you could still do that today, honestly, too, probably. But you could also deflect someone's death prayer with your words. So what you're also saying about yourself is powerful. If you're saying positive things like I'm a bad bitch, I'm a goddess, I'm ambitious, I am full of love, I am deserving of financial blessings, I'm deserving of, you know, a loving partner, then you're going to embody that energy. But if you're saying words that are destructive to who you are, then you're going to create a lot of imbalances in your mind, body, and soul. And so I'm trying to change the way that I speak about myself so that it's more positive as opposed to downplaying the person that I am. You just have to kind of believe it, and then your spirit and your body will follow that.
Not to be a spiritual witch, but you got to manifest that shit for yourself, because if you can't do it for yourself, nobody else will, you know? I love it. You look so good.
You always look good.
It's giving boss bitch.
Yes, queen.
It's giving bad bitch.
Yes.
Thanks, guys. Here's the final look. And thank you for joining me and my besties on this little snippet journey. And I hope that this is really helpful for you. And yeah, hope to see you soon.
In conclusion, be a
gotcha.
bitch. If you're gonna be a bitch, be a bad one.
To see you all. Nice meeting you. Shower. Thanks for inviting me, girl. Bye.
I love you.
Bye, everyone.
Sis.
Love you. See ya.
Bye.